former president. She is a good friend of mine, and at Denmark also I've met her, the former president of World Federation of the Deaf, and also in Finland I met the former president whose sign name is this. This is the first time I'm meeting the current WFD president, that is you. I'm also equally happy, and you just told me about your school that you have got 600 deaf students, and that's a big number. Due to COVID, they are all at home, right? Yeah, they are all at home because it's not safe here. So I really welcome you next time you come. Yeah, when everything is fine, I really will join you all at your school. Thank you so much. And this CRE webinar, the Zoom platform has become a boom that everybody through this platform, through this technology can watch you and watch Joseph, the president of World Federation of the Deaf, and it's a big pride movement for all of us. I'm happy. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone there. All the deaf people from India, the entire nation, I really greet you all. And Indore Deaf Bilingual Academy, IDBA, if I spell out right, they invited me to join this webinar. Just talking about the deaf education in India. Is the community and is the organization which aims and has the mission to promote sign language and to make them and for to work towards the quality education, quality deaf education. And Indore Deaf Bilingual Academy also aims towards the bilingual philosophy, bilingual education, and that's a positive thing which matches with World Federation of the Deaf. Community, and you have got all deaf children from different ages, different grades, and they have the right to be educated in sign language, in bilingualism, and just Mr. Rajkumar Punjabi told me that they have got 600 students from all over India, or that brings a smile on my face. So I know that India and that school, Indore Deaf Bilingual Academy, has 600 deaf students, and I hope that they must be providing quality deaf education and using Indian Sign Language as the communication mode and teaching mode. Many children in the world do not really have the opportunity to get education through sign language. They either go in the general school where nobody signs to them, nobody uses sign language, and they just sit all alone, left out. So there are some schools, and also there are some schools who provide the students who use hearing aids, but the classroom is not completely accessible to them, and also the teachers do not sign with them, and the students are just looking here and there because they're not able to understand what the teachers are saying. So the only deaf child in the class who is not able to communicate with the class peers, friends, or the teachers, totally deaf, is the case country. Motivation of the deaf is to there are 34 million deaf children all over the world. But the exact bilingual philosophy used in in the education system is just 1 or 2%, or maybe just few more percentage. But most of the schools in the world, they do not use bilingualism and sign language. But IDBA, Indore Deaf, sorry, I'm misspelling it, IDBA, the Indore Deaf Bilingual Academy, has the positive thing that they use, and IDBA and other schools in India, there are few schools who accept sign language, but they are not many. But World Federation of the Deaf does promote and does accept bilingualism. It is not that we will not accept it or we will not work towards the other schools who are not using sign language. No, we will be talking about, and we do have the mission to talk about the quality education and the deaf education to be at par with the general education and the opportunity. So in your country, you must use sign language, your own sign language. It is very important. And sign language, the better communication, better understanding is all through sign language. And before I continue more, I would like to thank IDBA, Indore Deaf Bilingual Academy, and also I would like to two organizations which in it from India. WFD has OM, Ordinary Member, the country Ordinary Member from India, All India Federation of the Deaf. So I would like to highlight All India Federation of the Deaf, who is the ordinary member of World Federation of the Deaf since many years, and we have strong collaboration. And another is NAD, National Association of the Deaf, that is AM, associate member. So we have good dialogue with both the organization OM and AM. I will target deaf education. So you all who are watching me today, maybe you all are educators, you are teaching deaf. So if we cannot achieve anything without having deaf people, so if we want success, it has to be with the deaf community, hand in hand. So we do need to have the strong deaf community involvement and the deaf organizations involvement who can help the deaf education in your country grow more and more stronger, and the young deaf children become more confident, more strong. And then later on, the same cycle goes on that they become the productive members of the society and organization in India. So good to see that from all over the world, and it is noticed that the local countries where the sign language is being promoted, they have close involvement with the deaf organizations also. The deaf local or state or central organizations have so much to share with the deaf young ones, the students, because they become the role model for those coming generation. So All India Federation of the Deaf, and also I would say NAD, the National Association of the Deaf, they both have been uh, doing the advocacy for the deaf education in India. In World Federation of the Deaf, now throughout the world we have got around over 70 million deaf people. The population of deaf community, deaf people is more than 70 million deaf in all over the world. So including sign language will bring life to their journey. And the vision of World Federation of the Deaf is that sign language as a right of is a right for all the deaf people. In Asia, Australia, any continent, all the deaf to have sign language as their own language. It is their right. So it is very important because, and also it is important that the government and international treaties, government bodies, policies have, for example, United Nations, your schools, all must target, all must have recognized sign language. And government must approve the nation's sign language. For example, Indian Sign Language will then grow more and more once it is recognized by the government. So All India Federation of the Deaf and National Association of the Deaf in India are both working for the social recognition of Indian Sign Language, official recognition of Indian Sign Language. In India and also in other countries, the advocacy is still on. The people are working towards getting official recognition of their sign languages. And the countries, they have their own. So how many countries? Now 198 countries in all over the world. So according to UN, 198 countries in all over the world. From that, how many countries and how many governments have have the law to recognize their own country's sign language? How many of them? Two less. So 198, 193, sorry, 193 countries, but the recognized official sign language are only 51 countries. So out of 193 countries, only 51 countries recognize sign language is their official language of the country. The World Federation of the Deaf aims and wants to support each and every left out countries and the organizations with the toolkit. How can they do the advocacy, fight for the language recognition in their own country? And why is it important? Got four bigger aims for next years, that is 2020 to 2030. 10 years plan we have definitely got, and we aim towards achieving all of them. The four key points, the very important key points are: first is world has different sign languages in their own country, of their own country. So it can be one or two. So to get recognition of sign languages in their own country and to respect their own country, to make more policies, deaf people have challenges or obstacles, and if they want to come at par equal to the world, we say sorry, we don't have any interpreters, and the deaf person is not allowed to get admission in the university, for example, or deaf person wants to go to the doctor and doctor is not able to understand, and there is another barrier that the communication gap is being felt again. So in these areas, if such things are happening, it is not good. So that's a big barrier in deaf person's life. So to remove the barriers, such kind of barriers, and to really have access, complete access and equal opportunities to the deaf in all over the world, this is another ambition for our next 10 years, so that the deaf community in all over the world, wherever they are born, and the society knows about the opportunities to be provided to the deaf child. Third, the deaf organizations have the big responsibility because they are the strong organizations. They lead and they represent the entire deaf community of their country. So to talk to the deaf, talk to the government of the country or policymakers, the organization plays a vital role. And even the government should be knowing that if they have to make any decision or policies for the deaf people, deaf population, deaf community, they should contact the organizations who are led by the deaf organizations, and not the hearing organizations or hearing people. Also, there are organizations or associations who are for the parents, who are of the parents of the deaf children. Next comes all the deaf people in any country should have the access, complete access to sign language. For example, in India, deaf people should be able to use interpreters whenever they want. They should have access anywhere they are going. They should have access to talk and to communicate in sign language, Indian Sign Language. The environment should be comfortable for the deaf person to go anywhere. We should not feel left out. The deaf people should not feel left out anywhere, that they are not able to cope up with the society or able to communicate. And for that strong bonding and that strong upbringing of deaf children, it is very important that the education comes first, and education, bilingual education comes first. Through sign language, only a deaf student can feel connected and comfortable with the education. Many people, they keep on asking me about sign language and bilingualism. So definitely deaf children, either it is deaf people who use hearing aid or cochlear implant, that is not the point of debate. Everybody has their own right and own choices. But WFD does not talk about sign language as a choice, but sign language is a must. It is not an option. It is not mere an option. All the people, hearing or deaf, woman or boy, women or men, anybody in India, if you say, or in America, let it be any country, any person from anywhere, everybody should have a complete language. Without language, it is impossible to live. It is impossible to grow. Without language, one cannot survive. So hearing people, when they give birth to a baby, so there is a big family talking to that baby, to that infant, and a hearing child acquires language. He feels so happy, and that language goes in the brain, and then slowly the child starts speaking. This is all a game of language, accessible language. It is so easy to provide, but when it comes to a deaf child, when a deaf child is born in a family, The hearing community, again, the hearing family talks in the same way with the deaf child, but deaf child is not getting anything. Everything is just being wasted. No matter if cochlear implant is done or hearing aid is done, it is not reaching out completely to the brain. The language is not being transferred to the brain. Hard, very hard to pick up the word, to pick up meaning out of those words and make a meaningful sentence. It is not natural. The deaf child requires that. That's a big difference between both the hearing child and the deaf child. When the child is born, we need to sign to him. Everybody from his surrounding, they have to use sign language. So he, wherever he looks, he'll get language, access to language, and then he'll have a complete sign language, meaningful sign language going to his brain. Similarly, the hearing child in the family has complete access to verbal language, but the deaf child has not many obstacles, not many barriers, and this takes him back. He's not growing as per the age, not growing as per the language is not growing as per the age that he grows into. So all the deaf children need to have, because it's a human right, sign language or language is the first fundamental right everybody has. So for deaf children, it is sign language. And also deaf children using sign language, country's sign language, country's local language, country's verbal language can be learned. It is called bilingualism. All deaf children can do it. These are all about languages. So one language will definitely, but if first language is not there, if first language is not accessible, then it is really difficult and it is challenging. But the first primary language, and the first thing is that visual language, visual accessible language is provided, exposed to the deaf child so that it will support literacy, so that it will support spoken language also, but without sign language, it will not support literacy and further things. So he will have to struggle everywhere, every time in achieving other languages and achieving subjects. So it is very important to have the foundation language to carry on to a succeed in next languages. And World Federation of the Deaf talks about many things. The first thing is human right to have sign language in deaf education. Even the United Nations talk about United talk about art who say that the sign language is very important to promote deaf education. Without language, it is not possible. The environment has positive and linguistically rich so that the deaf child goes anywhere, is able to gather knowledge, help them grow at par as the hearing community. So today when we started, and the introduction happened, after that we talked about IDBA, and also as they said that they have the exams which is similar to the hearing world, general students, general schools, and that is the aim of World Federation of the Deaf also. I want this the same thing to grow more and more in all over the world. The exams being conducted or the course curriculum being taught should be equal. And now we talk about inclusive education. So what is inclusion? And what is if we don't have inclusion? So inclusive education, this term, there are a lot many debates and different perspectives towards inclusive education. And also the government is not very clear because there are different perspectives on the philosophy of inclusive education. In World Federation of the Deaf, we are very clear and we want to say that inclusive education without, it shouldn't be deaf only to be included in the classroom, but deaf person alone in the classroom and another deaf person, one more deaf person, one more deaf student in the classroom. So that everybody can sign to each other, they can communicate healthily to each other. So when we have the sign language users and all the people in the class use sign language, then it is a correct and right inclusion. But many times the government, they say that inclusion just to find out a deaf person and put put together in the inclusive setup, and the deaf child in that inclusion or inclusive position, there is no learning of sign language. So this is not inclusion. So when you all see this, for example, in India also, there are many deaf students, deaf children who are not getting good education. They are not getting language. They are not able to communicate well. You know that fact. So we all are responsible. You all are responsible to have this inclusive education where deaf children can communicate with other hearing non-deaf children of the class. The World Federation of the Deaf also has the mission statement which clearly says that what inclusive education is. So when we talk about inclusion, if we go and admit a child just in a nearby school, that is not the inclusion. The deaf person should be, every day he has to go to that school, be in that school. So he should feel welcome in that school. So that he goes to the school and is happy every day and is able to communicate with his peers. That should be the positive environment. The people working there, maybe the sweeper, maybe the other person, any staff, he should be able to, but it's not right if everybody is using different language, verbal language to the deaf child and which he is not able to connect with. So this is not inclusion. So inclusion is where he meets another person and he's so happy to chit chat and talk to the person. And when he goes to the class, sits in the classroom, the teacher comes and teacher is a certified, qualified teacher and he teaches, maybe the teacher is hearing or deaf, but he is using sign language, Indian sign language, so that he feels motivated and interested to learn the lessons of that day. So the literacy that he'll work on will be quality one. And maybe in the classroom there are other diverse disabilities, wheelchair users or intellectually disabled. If they are also in the same classroom, the sign language environment will be good for everybody in the classroom. Even the hearing kids, hearing peers, if they want to learn sign language, they will feel welcome because they also can learn sign language. So that will become a inclusive, a right inclusive setup. Just to put your child in a nearby deaf school, sorry, a general school does not make it, just the admission does not make it inclusive education. The entire school should be inclusive in the right manner for the deaf child. There are four important points I would like to tell you. First is the education should be using country's sign language and country's written language. And if the classroom or the school is teaching more or with more focus to the hearing general kids and not to the deaf, is not fair. The government has should be having the curriculum so that the deaf and the hearing children study equal and they get the opportunity more and more. The third point is the more opportunities for the deaf as equal to the other general students. And third one is also very important that the teachers must be using sign language, complete sign language, full sign language. Now, many years now, since now many years, the deaf children in India and also other countries in India, other countries in the world, when the teacher comes, shows up in the classroom, the teacher does not sign, and the motivation is all gone. And the students then feel like they should teach sign language to the teacher, and that struggle goes on. But then when the students have time to learn, if they will teach sign language now in the class to the teachers, this is not the right way. So the access of sign language, of a language to a child, to a deaf child, should be complete. And also in university, there are different programs where deaf person wants to get enrolled. So the qualified teacher should be there. The qualified teacher should be there using sign language. They should be aware of sign language. So without this requirement, it is always a big hurdle or big challenge for the deaf community if they don't get access. They are here to learn. They have enrolled in your school or college or university to learn. So it is our responsibility, the government's responsibility, or the policies have to be changed and should be involving Indian Sign Language. Now, fourth, what's most important, it should not be in isolation. It should be, there should be deaf role models. Why are they important? Why are the deaf role models or deaf adults very important for the young deaf children? So it is very important that they look up to some deaf role models. That, okay, he has gone to Gallaudet University. How do I study higher? How will I work in my future? So they have this example, this role model. The deaf adults, the successful deaf adults can guide those deaf young children. How is their life being led? And they get the opportunity. They get to learn so much, and they feel confident of their own deaf identity. If there is no successful case, there is no successful uh, example to look up to, where will they learn from? So they have the deaf young children will have lot many opportunities if they meet more and more deaf role models and look up to their own life as them. So these 4 points, what I just said, are very important. And if they really, I know it is not easy job, easy task, because the deaf education since many years, since past many years, so for the quality education, for their human rights, for their language rights, definitely it's a challenge for many of the schools who do not use sign language, because they either they have very few deaf numbers, deaf children, and where deaf children want to go, deaf students want to go and learn. So the involvement of deaf community is more required, and the assistance of more experts is required for making the life of deaf students, making life of our deaf students. So once we aim, at least we work towards it. We won't really achieve it tomorrow, but if we have a common aim, then it is said that half the battle is won. And then we strive and then we work towards it to achieve that ambition that we have set, the goals that we have set. In World Federation of the Deaf, In India, we see that there are a lot many achievements in past years, and that's a big thing. I congratulate everyone, the Indian deaf community, and also I support them to achieve and to promote Indian Sign Language. I'm really happy seeing this success in India. In 2020, the government also has a policy to use. Yeah, in 2020, it is there that the sign language is allowed by the Indian government. They have accepted it, and it is very important now to make it tangible, make it workable. So it is good to see that even in India, the big step has already been taken this year. The government is now aware of Indian Sign Language and deaf education. So all the deaf children in India will have sign language access. Now, same time, in World Federation of the Deaf, when we when we talk about Indian Sign Language, it is their right. And many people in all over the world, in all over the country, it is said that 18 million deaf population is there in India, in all over India. So 18 million deaf, do they all sign similarly? No, they must be having variation in Indian Sign Language. For example, in Delhi, the deaf sign exactly same as Mumbai? No, they have some variations. And that is fine, that is okay. It is the same in all over the world in all the languages, spoken language also and sign languages also. That we have variations and differences. And that's a positive thing. It is not a negative thing. It is to show that language or sign language is the right language. And because it has variations, each country will have different variations, different and also different ages, different age deaf people. For example, there is some new word used by the young deaf people than the older deaf people. So language is not something fixed. It is not fixed. It is not which remains same all the time. No, it evolves. It always changes. It is very flexible. All the languages. So, so Indian government now has recognized Indian Sign Language and also is aiming towards standardization. In World Federation of the Deaf, I want to say that please be careful. Standardization means all the signs to change to become one. No, that is not the aim. That is not required. And also it is not possible. It is impossible to make one sign language. It is not possible because there are people who talk in their own ways. So it's very natural process. It will change. It will have some diversity. And standardization means, for example, a book. I'm learning from this book and then sign it the exact way, learn it the exact way in those signs. It is not language then. Language means when you meet people, you are able to communicate, you learn something new from, you exchange ideas, you exchange signs, and it makes your language rich. When you when you teach deaf students, you need to understand their sign language. In deaf community, what signs are being used? How do deaf people express themselves? You need to learn from that. You need to learn as it is being used. So Indian Sign Language is not fixed. It cannot be standardized. It is not needed. World Federation of the Deaf, we definitely support the idea of training, more training on sign language for the hearing people. Yes, to qualify, to become quality interpreters or quality signers. And also I support the standard curriculum to be used in India. And if the curriculum is wanted by the deaf community also to be standardized, then it is a yes. So these are few points which yes, which needs standardization. But I would like to say that respect Indian Sign Language as it is, and it is a real language, it's a true language. Respect it as it is. So thank you so much that you have given me the invitation. You sent me the invitation, and I'm very happy to be here. At last, I would like to say thank you. You work every day with deaf children in India. You work in education setups. You teach them. So you need to plan your future for Indian deaf children. So I would really want to thank the teachers who teach every day to their children. And just remember, they have their right and they should achieve it. They should be successful in their deaf education. And also the deaf community who is watching me, who is actively involved and has the ambition, has the goals to promote the deaf children, the deaf community of India. I really thank them all. Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful, wonderful presentation. You talked about many important things. You're very special, sir. I would like to question. In India, we have All India Federation of the Deaf. Yes, correct. I was forgetting the sign for I. AIFD, then National Association of the Deaf. We have YADI, Youth Association of the Deaf. And we have ISLIA, that is Interpreters Association. Would you like to give some suggestions to them, to those organizations? Thank you. So All India Federation of the Deaf, National Association of the Deaf, and YADI, as you said, Youth Association of the Deaf, and Interpreters Association, all these organizations should aim to work collaboratively. In India, we all should have the common aims for the development of the Indian deaf community as together. In World Federation of the Deaf, we have got our youth wing and we have strong bonding with the youth under World Federation of the Deaf. For example, you have YADI. If they have new ideas, new motivation, new things, new ideas to come up with, the community should be welcoming. And the community together, youth and the adult deaf together can, it's a positive thing to work together because youth are our future. And Interpreters Association, as you said, also it is very important for them to work together, both deaf community and interpreters community. For example, World Federation of the Deaf has the collaboration with WASLI, World Association of Sign Language Interpreters. In 2007, 13 years back, me, myself, Joseph, was WASLI, was there in the WASLI conference, and myself and the collaboration that the World Association of Sign Language Interpreters will respect the World Federation of the Deaf, and interpreters will come under WFD to support. WASLI will come under WFD to support in all the cases, and whatever requirement, whatever support required by WASLI to become more professional, WFD will always support. To talk about hours of their work, talk about the financial issues for the interpreters. So this is all like work, the Deaf Association and the Interpreters Association. Similarly, NAD and All India Federation of India has the big responsibility. They both are responsible to show up the deaf community in India the right collaboration, the right allyship, so that and also to work with the government to do more and more advocacy. These organizations should aim to work together to achieve more and more success. Now, hearing community does not understand sign language, so this thing gets very challenging, and so at least the when the communities work together, it shows up as a strong power of the community. So the association should show up. They are more accountable and responsible. So it is not to look up to each other, but to together look up to the future of deaf community in India. I really agree to you, sir, that NAD and AIFD should be working together and in partnership closely. So now my first question is done. My second question I would like to say, there are many schools in India, and UN and other policies being said that sign language should be used in education, but it is not practically being done. For example, okay, in UN, UNCRPD, and also other policies, it is said that sign language should be promoted, sign language should be used in the deaf education in our country also, but it is not practically really happening in our country. Good question. So UNCRPD and also your Indian government, so your central government in Delhi, just not the central government, but the state governments all have the responsibility. For example, Bombay and other states, other maybe I don't really know. So there are many states which have their own government. So do the deaf people have access to the services given by the government? The Indian government is signatory at the UN. They have already signed it. So that means they need to change their laws because they are following UNCRPD. The new ideas and new policies should be made, but the ideas, the policies that the government makes, the law which is being made for the country's deaf community, they should discuss National Association AIFD and NAD, and also article says that the government of the particular country has to listen to the community and association and need to know. It's a must. They cannot just have sympathy and be nice to the community or the organization, but they have to call those organizations, the representatives of the community, and discuss with them before making any laws and policies. I know that all the government do not think of dignity or deaf people. So we are also responsible that we put up our demand to the government. We showcase ourselves and have a dialogue with each other because government won't do it every day. We'll just check if we have any questions. I can see one question. Pallavi has raised the question there. So it's a good question. When language is taken away from the deaf children, so it's a right of deaf children, right to language, that they have the language access. There are different references from the researchers which support the dialogues. the and also the website. When you go and have a look at the WFP website, so we do have mission document and the deaf education document on our website talking about deaf education, also inclusive education. It gives lot many information, and also it has been shared in international science. Also, I would like to say that deaf children do have the right to have access in sign language. We are working more and more on this information when the students are deprived of language. They do not get the. So I see there are no more questions. So all the deaf people who have joined this with you and IDBA and all the deaf people and all the deaf people from all over the world and country, we thank you, Joseph sir, for this wonderful presentation, the opportunity that we got because we accepted our invitation. And Rajkumar Punjabi ji, Dr. Usha Punjabi ji, I thank from them and IDBA on the behalf of everybody. So once we are all in good situation back after Corona COVID-19, we would like to have you here. Thank you so much and bye bye. Thank you so much for your good work. All the best.